Everyone is talking about this new show, Wayward, on Netflix, as they should, because I just binged it, watched it, loved it, and I will talk about it some. But what I really wanted to talk about was, as I was watching this show, I thought back to an interview I did last year with Rachel Uchitel. Okay, just stick with me. I know that seems random, but let me explain. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, a little background. Wayward is described as a mystery thriller. It's a limited series on Netflix. It's 8 episodes. Some people are saying, it's akin to Twin Peaks, or if you like Yellow Jackets, you'll like Wayward. But essentially, it is about an academy in this town, Tall Pines Academy, where they send troubled teens. And obviously there is a lot of creepy things and mysterious things that are happening in this town at this academy. And you have this police officer who's played by Mae Martin, who is trying to figure out what is going on. There's kids who've been at this academy much longer, who have bought into these cultish ways. There's kids who've gone missing. All of this to say is this series really is a commentary on the troubled teen industry, which we've heard a lot in recent years. Paris Hilton has spoken out about it. I think Chet Hanks has spoken out about it. But I remembered back to when I did this interview with Rachel Uchitel, and she actually went to one of the original academies. There was a Forbes article asking, is Wayward based on a true story? And Mae Martin said, no, it wasn't based on a true story, but I did pull from some personal experiences. I had a friend who was sent to an institution like this. But Mae says that they did do research on a religious cult called Synanon, which was founded by Charles Dietrich. And it was originally founded, for alcoholics, but they turned it into these schools where they were sending troubled teens. They created schools based on these religious foundings. And, it became this self-help cult in the 70s. Well, when I spoke to Rachel Uchitel, the school that she went to was based on this Synanon cult. And one of the most mind-blowing parts was realizing that some of the stories that Rachel was sharing with me over a year ago, mirrored some of the plots in this show. Now, if you're unfamiliar with who Rachel Uchitel is, many people first met her as one of the faces of 9/11. She tragically lost her fiance on 9/11. A lot of people met her as one of the mistresses of Tiger Woods, but today she is a very successful podcaster, and I got to interview her. And here's what she said about ending up at this school.
So I went to CEDU, which was the original school. Provo Canyon started after. So CEDU was founded by Charles E. Dietrich, that's his initials, CEDU, and Charles E. Dietrich University. We were told it meant see yourself and do something with it. So we had no idea this was it's based on the Synanon cult. First of all, I graduated from there. I was there for almost 3 years. It was a terrible time in my life, and no one has really taken the opportunity to really talk to me about what it's like to have gone there for 3 years, from being 13 to 16 years old, where you're growing the most, and deal with what I had to deal with. You could speak to your parents once every 2 weeks for 15 minutes, and they monitor the calls. So there's all these rules there. You can't, from everything, you cannot flirt. You cannot have a boyfriend. You cannot do anything down to peeing in the shower. If you do any of those things, you have to do what's called cop out. You have to write down all the things that you did, and you get in trouble for them. You get consequences for every single one. So you learn to follow. It was run by people that had no credentials to run the school. You were told to do a lot of physical things. For example, I had to dig a grave with a spoon and lay in it and write an epitaph about, myself. For all the cult-like behavior that I suffered through and went through, I've learned a ton of lessons. I am very self-aware. I can read people really well. I'm very honest. I have very serious boundaries, and I learned all that from there. So there was good things to take from it, because it really was based on the Synanon cult was founded for people that were alcoholics, basically, and it was teaching them that they had to tell their story to be able to get it out of them and start fresh. So you had to do that all the time.
One of the characters you meet in Wayward is Stacy, who has been at Wayward and has reached the Ascend level and has, in essence, become one of the cult leaders. And Rachel talks about how, because she too was a graduate, she was there for so long, she eventually turned into one of them.
At the beginning, it makes you feel good. You have this family. You have people that you think really know you and believe in you, and no one else can understand you. But then you go through these 24-hour periods where they keep you up all night and they throw shit in your face and they yell and scream at you. And you feel like the only people you have are the people that have gone through that moment with you. And so you start to shed the people on the outside. I graduated from there when I was a month shy of being 17. I did not know that it was a cult until maybe 9 years ago, 8 years ago. I was shocked when I found out that CEDU stood for what it did. I was shocked when I found out that the things we did were part of this cult-like behavior. First of all, I tried to run away 3 times. I was sent to juvenile hall. I hitchhiked down this mountain. I could have been killed and who knows what. There are a couple people that have never been found again to this day. And it's really scary that I did those things to get out of there. But I think at some point, a year into it, and my father died when I was there, I had no way out anymore. So I just said, okay, I'm going to go with it because it's the only way I'm going to get through it. And once I changed my mindset, I was like the head of the dinner dishes committee, which means every night the kids that are in trouble have to clean the dishes. So I was the girl telling them what to do and giving them where they were supposed to be. And I would have been considered one of them, right? Even though I didn't know that I was one of them at the time. So when I graduated, I didn't want to leave. I would have done anything to stay because I felt like that was my family. And it was so hard to go back into this big world where no one got.
Bottom line, Wayward on Netflix. I recommend, go watch it. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about the troubled teen industry in recent years. And I think this does a great job of, really providing commentary while also, having a thriller series. And also if Rachel Uchitel ever decided to share more about her real life experience, I would definitely be tuned in.